All right. Looks like we are live. Welcome to another surprise unboxing. I did a huge unboxing if you guys missed it a couple weeks ago. It was all the records that showed up at my buddy's place because I was rerouting them when I was moving across the country. Now, there's an aftershock because apparently more showed up since that live stream that I didn't have a chance to reroute back to my new place. So I have like 20-ish mailers of new records to show off. So let's do a little live stream and I'll open them and talk about them and we'll have a little chat and it'll be great. Hope you guys had a really nice Christmas if you celebrate that. Oh, what's up, CAZR? What's up, Wizard of Loneliness in the house? Man, I love it when some of my favorite musicians come in here. That's very exciting. Nick's here. Ryan's here. Cool. Tyler, Shannon, Snooch. Cool. So yeah, we got a good crew, and let's make sure you hit the like button. It's a really easy way to support the live stream. And if you during this live stream, I'll mostly be showing off records. But if you want me to answer a question in depth about music or vinyl, drop me a super chat, and I will stop what I am doing and answer your question. I will also. I'd like to just, before I get started with the live stream, I would like to show you guys something real fast if I can find the link to it, which I can't now because I am, here we go. That's not right. Okay, if someone else can do me a favor, because I'm having trouble finding the link right now. If someone can drop a link in the chat of my crates campaign that just got funded. So long story short, I won't bore you guys, but King Gizzard did another crazy thing where they gave their music or some of their music away for people to do official bootlegs of and kind of make physical copies and sell them and do whatever they want, which is really cool and really revolutionary for the music industry. And I just started to jump on something that I really enjoyed that they released earlier this year. It was a bunch of demos. And what I did to make it a little unique from unique from the other orders. It's for some reason I'm getting an error. Thank you, Noah. Here we go. Let's try that. Did that work? What I did was I took my favorite demos and I sequenced them in a way that would be almost like an actual album flow. It has a really nice beginning, middle, and end to it. The sounds blend together really nicely, and it's only one disc, so you don't have to sit through two discs of demos where some of the demos are and some of the demos are really good. I did the work for you to take out what I think were the best ones. So the crates got funded in a single day, which is insane. That might be the fastest record that I funded for this label thus far, but you still have 28 days to get a copy. So check out the link in the chat and take a listen, and feel free to grab one if you would like. But let's get started. Let's start unboxing. All right, so first box we have here. Shout out to the TMR unboxer. This thing gets a lot of play. Ooh, this is a big boy. All right. Illumination by Miami Horror. This is an album that came out a while ago, got out of print, and then they did a repress on pink vinyl, also went out of print. This in particular is the 3LP deluxe version, so it's album, B-sides, and remixes. If you guys like synth pop, Miami Horror is excellent. This album in particular is their shining star, but I think everything they've done is at least good. This is excellent. There's a track on here with Kimbra that's just so good. But yeah, I'm excited. It has a triple gatefold. That's like such a nice packaging. I'm really stoked on this one. So yeah, if you guys don't know Illumination, check it out before it gets out of print again for the third time. Tycho vibes on the artwork. I totally agree. That kind of like that sun with the sky behind it with really pretty colors. That's definitely an ISO 50 style, without a doubt. All right, what do we have here? Oh, about dang time. I haven't gotten a physical copy of this yet. This is the Avalanches. I ordered a couple variants of this, and maybe the other variant is in this pile. I don't know, but this is their excellent new album, We Will Always Love You. This was actually on my top 10 of the year. I think it was number 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just absolutely love this record. I know it's a little polarizing. Some people were saying they weren't too impressed with it. I think that it is an excellent, cohesive piece of work. There are only a few tracks that I think are subpar. It's a long record, so the hit ratio, it's a crazy track listing image, by the way. The hit ratio is way high, and the collaborators they work with on this album in particular are stellar. I think it's a really great kind of spacey journey versus the last album, which is a little more psychedelic. This one is definitely kind of like down-tempo space age, and I loved this record. I was nervous because of the singles. I didn't think they stood that well on their own, but within the context of the album, fantastic. So, really good. All right, let's see what else we got. Ugh. I don't even know what half this stuff's gonna be, so let's see. Ooh, almost sliced my finger off. All right, we got a box within a box. This must be some important stuff for it to be double boxed like this. Who knows? Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So this is something, if Travis is still in here, he will appreciate this. Travis got me into this artist, which I had not listened to previously. His name is Sleeping at Last, and he does really good, it's basically folky music, kind of in the vein of maybe City and Color or Sufjan's kind of folkier stuff. I believe it's religious. I think he's Christian, and I think it shines through to the music, but lyrically it's not overt for people that aren't into religion. Like, I'm not a very religious person personally, but the music is beautiful enough. He has an excellent voice. And this is Yearbook, a collection of a whole bunch of songs that he has done. I listened to a majority of this digitally, and I loved it. Hey, Nikki. So this is a collection I'm excited to dive into, but what I'm really excited about is that he did a record recently called Enneagram, and this is a Wax Mage version that I was able to grab before it sold out. It's also signed there by him, which is cool. A little scribbly of a signature, but that's okay. So let me... the name is Sleeping at Last, but let's look at this Wax Mage real quick. Let's see how this turned out. I got a little download code there slipping out. Oh, yes. I love mages that look like this. This kind of beautiful rainbow, almost a nebula of sorts. I'm not going to lie. I actually have not heard this individual album, but I've liked just about everything I've heard from this guy. So when I saw the Wax Mage, I had to take a leap, and I'm assuming I'm going to love the record. I think this one in particular, I think Enneagrams are like something, it's like a personality test of some kind, and I think I could be wrong. I know it relates to some kind of like a test of some sort. So yeah, this is really nice, and I can't wait to dive in and listen to this. I'll listen to this later tonight. Beautiful color, and it's 2 discs, which is rad. So shout out to that. Yeah, Travis just said, did you put him in the same genre or the same group as Sufjan? I do. I mean, I think Sufjan's infinitely better, and Travis is weird because he hates Sufjan's music, which makes no sense to me because so many of the artists he does like and tells me about are very similar to Sufjan. How much did I pay for the last one? I don't remember what it was retail. I think it was expensive. I think it might have been like 70. I don't recall, but a Wax Mage for an artist that's actually like a known artist, it's always going to be a good buy, I think, because you won't be able to find it once it sells out for even half that. All right, let's see what else we got. We still have quite a bit to unbox, folks. Oh, hell yeah. About Damn Time. My number 3 album of the year, Folklore. I got 2 variants. I know there were like 8 or 9. Travis says, the Wax Mage is gorgeous. Enneagram is awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Travis, and I hope that I love the music as much as the visual. Yeah, I grabbed these two because I like the colors of the wax for both of these, and I like the cover pictures quite a bit. I'm not crazy enough to collect all 9 variants, but Folklore is such a great record because I've been a Taylor Swift fan for a long time. I mean, ever since high school, I've been a fan of hers, and I fell off around 1989, and then I continued to fall off for Reputation. But then Lover brought me right back into the fold, and then she follows up with these 2 albums, well, Evermore in this. And the fact that she decided to collaborate with my favorite band, The National, and the fact that she said that that's one of her favorite bands, I mean, I think there's a trend between musicians I love and The National, because like Phoebe Bridgers' favorite band is The National. Her music is 10 out of 10. Folklore, Taylor Swift's one of her favorite bands, National. Like, it's just, it makes perfect sense to me. If you haven't given this album a listen and you're assuming you're not gonna like it, please give it a listen. It is unlike anything she's done before, and it's masterful. JM Land, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Did you have a question or just a little sunglasses guy? Yeah. So this is. You hear Sufjan hates The National. Yeah, he hates them so much that he was on multiple albums of theirs and toured with them a few times. Hates them. Yeah, so I'm excited to hear Folklore on wax. Hopefully it's a good pressing. Let's find out later. Thank you. I really appreciate that super chat, JM. All right, what do we have here? Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So this is this Antera or Ardor? Ardor. Teebs, Teebs, Brain Feeder artist. So if you like Flying Lotus, it's not quite as trippy as Flying Lotus's stuff, but this is the deluxe version. Yeah, it's the 10th anniversary of Ardor. Ardor is a really good down-tempo album. It's I think Teebs might be one of the most underrated down-tempo artists. No one talks about him in the same breath that they do some of the bigger names, and I think he has 3 albums, I believe, or 4 maybe. But literally, this album and Antera are so good. Definitely give it a listen. I mean, if you like Brain Feeder records, you know, like you got Thundercat, you got Flying Lotus. Teebs is right up there. As Noah's freaking out in the chat right now, yeah, Teebs is worthy of listening to. Yeah, so this is the anniversary edition. I believe it might have some bonus tracks, but I think at the very least it just has colored wax, which is cool. It's bonus materials. Yeah, there is extra stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you guys like down-tempo electronic music and you want something that's really unique and intelligent and well done, Teebs is your guy, for sure. For sure. All right. Let's see. What do we have here? What's the most I ever dropped on a record? Someone asked. Well, I actually have a video I did on the channel a few months ago called I Just Spent $1,200 on a Record, and I promise you it's worth a watch. The story is pretty fantastic, so go back and check out that video after this live stream. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite records of the whole year, or favorite videos of the whole year that I did. So I'm just mutilating this mailer right now. It is just horrifying what I'm doing to this thing. So this is an album. This is by Soul Chef. It's called Good Vibes. This is just a really underrated lo-fi hip-hop like beat tape. It's really hard to find, and I've had it in my want list on Discogs for a long time, a couple years, and I literally saw it for the first time pop up maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I bit the bullet. It was a little pricey to get it because it was an import, but it was still not a ridiculous price that I'm assuming it will eventually rise to. If you like lo-fi hip-hop, definitely check out Soul Chef. Really underrated, and the album's called Good Vibes, so check him out. Check it out. Do any Dr. Steve Brule fans in the house? Is it a good record to scratch on? I don't know. I don't DJ, so I wouldn't scratch on any of my records, theoretically. Alright, so what do we have here? It's hard to get discs out sometimes. Oh, yes! This is actually a find I was super excited to grab. This is one of those ones where I saw it pop up on Discogs, like, top of my want list, so I knew that I was, like, one of the first people to see it. This is a 10-inch by the Avalanches. This is early Avalanches, pre-Since I Left You. Just got a little thing on my finger, like a little sticker on my finger. Yeah, so this is extremely early Avalanches 10-inch. I've been looking for the early stuff for a while. I mean, there's unique tracks on here that are not on Since I Left You. The track list, I guess I have to go to the disc to actually see, is Undersea Community, Yamaha Superstar. It's 45 RPM too, so it's gonna sound fire. Slow Walking, and Thank You Caroline. And Thank You Caroline's a fairly easy track to have. I think I have a 12-inch that also has Thank You Caroline, and that song is bonkers. Really, really good. So I'm ecstatic that I found this. It was actually from a US store that I used to go to all the time. It was Academy Records in New York. They put it on their Discogs, and really, really excited for giving this a listen because the Avalanches are one of my favorite bands, and no one argues that Since I Left You is an amazing album. I feel like people like it to varying degrees, but most people consider it to be their best. It's actually my second favorite. I think Wildflower is a little better, but it might have just been the time that Wildflower hit me in my life compared to Since I Left You. But the early stuff they did is phenomenal, and I just can't wait to hear those tracks that I've never heard before, which I think is 3 of those. I might have heard Slow Walking. I can't recall. All right, so let's keep going. All right. Speaking of Mr. Kid Cudi, just kidding, we weren't speaking about him at all, but this is the 12-inch for Leader of the Delinquents, the single he dropped randomly before he announced Man on the Moon 3, which did make my top 10 albums of the year list. It just rounded it out at number 10. This was his first single in a while. First solo single. He did the song with Travis Scott, The Scotts. Not a big Travis Scott fan, so I didn't really like it that much. This was an interesting hip-hop track. It had a little bit of edge to it, a little bit of the... Cudi's a huge grunge fan, and this definitely had a little bit of that element to it. A little punk rock for hip-hop. I didn't love this track. I just thought it was kind of cool. I love the art, though, which I think is really rad. And I'm happy to say that most of the songs on Man on the Moon 3 are even better than this. But I figured I'd grab the picture disc because Cudi rocks. And knowing hip-hop records these days, if I didn't get it then, I might have never picked it up because it just sometimes the prices go off the wall. So, all right. I see a lot of questions in the chat. If you guys want me to answer a question, shoot me a super chat and I'll stop what I'm doing because I will see the color pop up and I will be able to answer your question in depth. But for now, I'm just going to be unboxing records first and foremost. So, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, cool. From Cranky. This is Siguros' Odin's Raven Magic. I guess this is technically their next album, but it's not a traditional Siguros album. I think it's like I'm trying to remember the way it was described. It was like a play that I think they did the score to, or it's, I think they used to play arrangements from this piece. Was it a poem? Someone in the chat help me out. I think probably Ryan Dye would know. But it's they used to play bits and pieces of this at their live shows every now and then, but they finally decided to do a full release of it, and they're calling it their next album, but I don't think it's going to be in the same vein musically as every other Siguros record. But Yeah, I mean, anything Siguros is really good. I feel like I did get burned on the Beyonce solo record this year. I did not enjoy it outside of 1 or 2 tracks. But that's because it's drastically different than Beyonce's first solo record, Go. This in particular is going to be a good listen. I think it'll be beautiful regardless. When Siguros as a full band comes together, I feel like magic happens just about every time. So excited to listen to this. If you guys like Siguros, check out their new record. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Alright, let's keep going. How much was the Kid Cudi record? I don't recall. It was actually fairly affordable. I think it was like $20 or less. Maybe like $15. It's a single, so it's not a full record, but... Alright, we have another lo-fi hip-hop tape that I will highly recommend y'all. The cover is not blank, guys. The cover is not... It has a raven on it. You have to just like kind of look at it at an angle. It's like there is a raven on the cover. It's not totally blank. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Saib? I'm not sure, but Sailing is a very good... Cold Busted is one of my favorite labels that's doing lo-fi hip-hop. This is definitely a record that I recommend if you're into lo-fi. A lot of lo-fi stuff is... Here's the thing about lo-fi hip-hop, and here's the problem with it, is that a lot of the releases sound great, but it's forgettable. Oftentimes, there's so much coming out, and I feel the same way about Vaporwave, to be honest. There's so much coming out that a lot of it is just kind of middling, but the overall sound for the genre is really pleasing. So people get wrapped up in picking up a bunch of stuff that sounds kind of similar and forgettable, and then they end up not listening to it. This is a record in particular that I do feel like transcends the genre and does have a unique sound to it. So this is one of those artists that I would definitely check out, and this is probably his best release. He also has like a Cowboy Bebop inspired lo-fi tape, so check that out. Yeah, so check that out. I won't spend too much time on that. We have another big box over here. Let's see what this is. Hey, Lucas, happy holidays. Look at this, another box within a box. Grave within a grave. Where my little ugly man fans at? Oh, I got a nice dose of emo right here. This is my Mondo drop. So this is Newfound Glory self-titled. This was out of print for a very long time and only existed as picture discs. Then the band released a handful of colored variants. And then Mondo did a variant on Splatter that kind of matches all these colors. It's like I think it's like red, orange, and blue Splatter. This is a great pop punk record. This is... I want to say they're second or third best. It's hard. I think Sticks and Stones and Catalyst are just up there with this one, but Newfound Glory self-titled is just pop punk perfection. I mean, there are so many songs on here that you will recognize if you grew up in this era. So excited for that. But then I also had to dip in on the Dashboard Confessional 10 inches. As you guys know, I'm a big Dashboard fan. That right there is the Swiss Army Romance box set. It comes in a giant Swiss Army knife. And I know Nikki's in here and she's jealous I have that. I'm sorry, Nikki. I hope that you find one. I know that it's a big want for you. But we have the Spider-Man 2 EP, which has Vindicated, of course, which that song made the soundtrack. And Spidey Suite and Doc Ock Suite, which is kind of cool. And then we have So Impossible EP, which has For You to Notice, So Impossible, Remember to Breathe, and Hands Down. And then with the Summer's Kiss EP, which is Living in Your Letters, The Sharp Hint of New Tears, Turpentine Chaser, and Ender Will Save Us All. So these are a lot of songs from like the early eras of Dashboard, like with The Places You've Come to Fear the Most and Swiss Army Romance. I don't know if these are alternate versions or demos or whatever. I'm hoping they're not just the album versions. I could be wrong. I wasn't even familiar with these EPs, to be honest, but when I saw Dashboard do something through Mondo, I was kind of like, my brain short circuited, and I was like, I have to get it because I am a huge fan of Dashboard and Mondo. So yeah. Let's see what else we got. I'm going to take a moment real quick. There's now 140 people in here. Hi, guys and gals. I'm just going to say, because I didn't make a video about it, that I put out another record for my record label. It's a King Gizzard record. You can read about it here. It is fully funded already, so if you order it, you're guaranteed to get one. You only have 28 more days until it's gone. But I can't believe it funded in a single day. So here's the link. I just dropped it in the chat. Open it up in a new tab. Take a listen. I think you'll like the read the story behind the release and check it out. This is another fantastic record that I was holding off purchasing, and I was wise to do so. Are there 2 records in here? Oh, it's... So this... Okay, this is Fortet, There Is Love in You. This is a anniversary edition, I believe, with extra tracks. And I'm surprised because it looks like there's a completely separate disc in here that's the remixes. And then there's the There Is Love in You album. Gatefold. This is a nice package. Fortet is one of those artists that unfortunately goes under the radar for how prolific and excellent his catalog is. Your average person still has not heard Fortet, which is crazy to me because Fortet is a pioneer of electronic music, and I have just about everything he's ever done. It ranges from good to fantastic, and yeah, this is one of my favorite albums of his, and I didn't own it. Unfortunately. So now I own it, which is great. Wait, Fortet released an album yesterday? Did you hear it? Is it any good? Is that Fortet still on sale? I'm not entirely sure. Ryan's questioning my commentary of Under the Radar. I'll say Under the Radar because I'll ask 15 of my friends, do you know who Fortet is? And they'll say no. He's popular with it. He has a cult following. He'll sell out, underground shows, but he's not playing the Forum in Los Angeles. He's not under the radar for people that are really into electronic music, but it's I would still consider him under the radar. Most people have not heard of Fortet who are just casual music fans, and that was my argument. Is Wizard of Loneliness still here? He is. Well, guess what? Unboxing one of his records. This is the Pete and Pete inspired Farewell My Little Viking. I was waiting for this for I feel like almost a year that I pre-ordered this. It is finally here. It is on blue and red vinyl to match the cover perfectly. Wizard of Loneliness is one of my top vaporwave artists, although I think that his music transcends vaporwave and it becomes a little more jazzy hip-hop and lo-fi beat tape stuff with the kind of vapor filter over it. One of my favorite songs of his, Grape Judas, is on this. I think that's... I don't know if you remember back when I was doing some consulting with Vinyl Moon and we put together that vaporwave compilation. That was the song that I wanted to use for the comp because it's just one of my favorite things you've ever done. But yes, really love this record. It's just excellent vibes. And I mean, I grew up on Pete and Pete, so that's a nice little... I love the cover art. If you guys aren't on the Wizard of Loneliness train, he has a boatload of cassette tapes, but he's starting to put his stuff on vinyl. So definitely try to track some of those down. It's some of the best that the genre has to offer, in my opinion. So definitely check him out. Also, Wizard of Loneliness, a call out to one of my favorite shows of all time, Nathan For You. There, right there, that's a Dumb Starbucks cup from the Dumb Starbucks episode, which you can actually see me in because I happened to be there that day in Los Angeles when they were filming. Small world. All right, let's see what this is. It's the last one, I think, but then we could do a few more minutes of chatting, I think. Let me see. Yeah, we can talk for another little while. What's up, Alberto? And fitting to end this live stream is a little bit from the Queen. This is the Beyonce Homecoming concert experience live album Extravaganza. I gotta say, this packaging looks pretty great for a box set. I'm pretty impressed, and I'm also impressed that they didn't charge this, or they didn't charge like $100 for this, because knowing the way that hip hop and R&B is going, labels are starting to overcharge for products like crazy because they know that they'll sell. I think this was $50 for 4 discs of music. 5 discs? No, it looks like I think 4 in a booklet. Yeah, I mean, Homecoming, this concert, unbelievable. I love that there's an entire section where they do Destiny's Child songs. So cool. So I can't wait to listen to this. Yeah, really, it really runs the gamut of her entire discography. The one thing that I will say that I am really upset about, well, first of all, what I'm excited about is that it opens with Crazy in Love, which is maybe my favorite Beyonce song. But my other favorite Beyonce song isn't even on this release, and I don't understand why. It's XO. That song for me is just unbelievable. It is so beautiful and so powerful. Maybe it's too hard to sing live. I don't know. That's a crazy thought. She sings a bunch of crazy stuff live, but XO should have been on here. That would have made this perfect. But otherwise, pretty much every other Beyonce song I like is on here. So yeah, Beyonce, Homecoming. Can't wait to listen to this. So that is the unboxing, but I'll answer a few questions before I get off here. Again, I appreciate you guys being here for this. This is always fun. I've been doing a bunch of these lately, and I forgot how fun live streaming is. So in the new year, hopefully I'll do this a little more regularly, in addition to my content that I will be putting out, and I have a lot of good videos planned for 2021. So don't think this channel is devolving into a Twitch live stream palooza. I've just been busy with the move, and this is way easier than filming and editing a video. Now that I'm 9 into doing TMR pressings, what do I know now that I wish I had known at the start? It's a good question. Honestly, I feel like I've been pretty lucky with this label. I feel like I haven't run into too many snags outside of some delays this year due to COVID. I think every release I've done has turned out fantastic. I haven't really switched up my formula too much. As long as Fort Vine comes out as awesome as I think it will, and I heard the test press and it sounds awesome, then yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm on a good streak, and I just want to see it keep going. Did I like the Matt Berninger record? Check out my top 10 albums of the year video I did a couple weeks ago, and you will see the answer to that. You need to jet. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Ocean Believer. I appreciate it. What album am I anticipating most for 2021? I am doing a video about that in January, about my most anticipated albums. So look forward to that. What's a good record frame to buy? I don't know. I don't really frame my records. I only have a Tyco one that's framed, and I frame the disc next to the signed jacket, but that's a frame I can't find anymore. Someone asked me about where I found it, and I went to the listing and it's gone, so I'm not sure. You see Cuddy, am I into rap, Madchild, Hopsin, or other rappers? Yeah, I'd say I'm fairly into rap. It's probably just my favorite genre. If you watch any video on this channel, there's a good chance I'm talking about rap. I'm a huge Kanye fan, musically. Thoughts on Con and Moccasin? I've heard the name, but I've never listened to it. If I could keep one album, what would it be? I mean, I feel like it unfortunately has to be Benaroya Hall because of the story behind it. Am I into Autechre at all? Is that how you pronounce it? That's like the tech house, like electronic. It's a little too... That genre of electronic music, that Autechre, however you pronounce it, it's not my favorite. Is that tech? That's not IDM. That's more like it's almost like, is it drum and bassy? It's like a little too technical for me. It's not. The electronic stuff I like is a little prettier, a little more melodic, a little less kind of just like in your face. Have I heard the new Fontaine's DC, Laura Marling, or Bedroom records? No, I heard some of the Bedroom record, and I thought it was really good. Do I have Strawberry Alarm Clock records? I don't, but I enjoy Strawberry Alarm Clock if I'm in the mood for some of that early psych stuff. Frank! Where'd you come from? Frank with the super chat, no question. Well, thank you, Frank. I look forward in January to digging with you. Finally, after all these years, it's going to be pretty fantastic. Have I been to any record shops in Portland yet? Yes, I went to some when I visited a couple months ago, and I look forward to going in the new year and checking out some more. Do I listen to Julian Baker? I love Julian Baker. She's one of my all-time favorites. I got to see the Boy Genius show, which they all did solo sets, and then went forward and performed the Boy Genius record, which was just stellar. Hey, Mike, thank you for the super chat. Don't know if you remember me. The name is familiar. Your favorite Guster song is Satellite, and your favorite Mute Math song is You Are Mine. Great picks. What are my favorite songs? I'm assuming you're asking about those bands. My favorite Guster song is Come Downstairs and Say Hello. My favorite Mute Math song, that's a tougher one. I feel like my first instinct is to say Chaos, but I also just, oh man, Mute Math is so consistent for those first 2 or 3 albums. What's been fun about Portland so far? Nothing, because I've been busy setting up my house, and it's just been a sea of that. But yeah, I mean, Portland has been nice. It's been nice to drive around Oregon and kind of like explore. But I look forward to actually going and doing more things when things open up. What's my least favorite Radiohead record, and why is it King of Limbs? It's actually a good question. It is not my least favorite Radiohead record. I'm going to be doing a video next year, spoilers, ranking Radiohead, because I thought that would be an interesting conversation topic. People know what my top 3 are. I talk about it fairly frequently, but I think it would make good discussion for me to rank them top to bottom and then see if people disagree. Brian's off to listen to Earl Grey. Nice. Let me know how it sounds. Post a pic in the group, man. Have I checked out Dice Records yet? I have not checked them out. Send me something you think I'd like. Oh man, another super chat, and this time in pounds. Thank you. Hey man, finally caught a live stream. Hope your Christmas was cool. What do you make of the Killers finally putting their Christmas album on streaming yesterday? Great question, Noah. My Christmas was cool. It was relaxing. The Killers, obviously one of my favorite bands from high school. I think they kind of fell off a little after Battleborn. But I know a lot of people think they fell off after Sam's Town, so I stuck with them a lot longer than most. Their Christmas songs are pretty excellent. I mean, some of them are really goofy, like the Cowboys Christmas Ball. And but I think their first single they ever did, A Great Big Sled, is one of my favorite Killer songs, period. I think it transcends being a Christmas song, and it's just a great song. So I'm excited that it's finally on streaming, so everyone can enjoy those if they didn't have them downloaded like I did. And then Mike, boom, I deserve the money. Thank you. I feel like I hope so. Chaos is amazing. What's your favorite May song? My favorite May song, I think The Everglow is the first song that got me into them, so that's always the one that I get the most emotional to. But I think that Mistakes We Knew We Were Making is really good. Suspension, I mean, the whole Everglow, it's impossible to decide. That's a 10 out of 10 album. Feelings on the new Ryan Adams. I don't listen to Ryan Adams because I was never a fan to begin with before the allegations came out about him being a POS. So I am not going to listen to him at all. What do I think of Bus Driver? I think Bus Driver is an awesome MC. Some of his stuff is a little too experimental for me, but I do like a fair amount of his tracks. Have I heard the Playboi Carti collab with Kanye and Cudi? I have not heard his new album. I did enjoy some of his first record, but I was watching on hip hop Twitter people tear his new record apart, so I'm assuming it's not that great if even his fans are turning on him. Will I ever come up to Vancouver when the borders reopen? Definitely. I definitely want to go do videos in Vancouver at the record stores. Oh, Nick with the super chat. Which pop punk record would you recommend most for someone just getting into the genre? Great question. Easy answer. Cartel's Chroma, Chroma. That to me is a perfect pop punk record. It captures the ethos of what pop punk is trying to do while having excellent vocals, really memorable music behind every song, and it's one of those things that front to back there's not a single skip. So that is definitely my pick. What's my favorite musical soundtrack? Into the Woods. I love this. I was in the musical Into the Woods back in high school. I was Jack. So that always holds a very special place in my heart. What's the story behind getting Blonde? Was able to find it for less than normally goes for? Yes, I was able to get it for a really good deal from a cool guy on Instagram who hooked me up. I won't say the exact price, but I will say it's about half of the going rate now, which is pretty rad. Another super chat from Noah. Oh, I forgot to say, I missed out on Wildflowers and all the rest, so I had to fork out an OG press of the original album. Wait, is it out of print already? Really? It's funny. I ordered my Wildflowers and all the rest 3-disc album from Bull Moose, and it arrived, and there was a glue spot on side A where it was like I couldn't get it off without risking damaging the record. And I sent it back to them, and they sent me a new one. So you might want to contact Bull Moose and see if they have, although you just bought an original, so this advice would have been useful prior. But I hope that the original sounds great. How much did you pay for it? Am I a fan of DnB, drum and bass? Not really. I like some drum and bass inspired sounds in my music, but I don't necessarily love pure drum and bass. Who would I recommend for fans of The Midnight? I don't know who The Midnight is. Any post-rock favorites or recommendation other than Siguros? What's funny, Daniel, is that I don't actually consider Siguros post-rock. I know they're kind of lumped into that, but it's just like orchestral, like pop, really. It's not, I don't see post-rock in their music at all. My favorite post-rock bands are Caspian and Explosion in the Sky, which everyone knows. I was way more into post-rock maybe 5 years ago. I feel like I've fallen off, but I still will occasionally throw on some Caspian records. 3 Dream Festival headliners, dead or alive. I think I'm just trying to think of my favorite artists that I think would put on a good show. I think if I had to pick 3 headliners without thinking about it too hard, it would be Kanye, it would be The National, and it would be Pearl Jam. I mean, I feel like that sums up my... Although The National are fantastic live, but I feel like for a headlining performance, I would rather have Chris Cornell if he was doing all of his projects. So if he's doing songs from Soundgarden, doing songs from Audioslave. Actually, I think the way I would have it work is that Audioslave would be the headliner, because I know in Audioslave shows they were doing Rage Against the Machine songs and Soundgarden songs in their set. So Audioslave doing the Chris Cornell discography, Kanye West hopefully doing his secular music, and then Pearl Jam, because Pearl Jam is just unbelievable live. Favorite Tool album? Probably Anima, if I had to pick. I'm not a huge Tool fan, but I like Tool. What's my opinion on Chuck Person's Echo Jams? It's vaporwave historian stuff. It's, the early parts of the genre. I enjoy it. It's not my favorite vaporwave record, but I think it's important to the movement of how it came to be. So many questions. Holy smokes, guys. You guys are blowing me away right now. Do I know Pablo Nutini? The name is familiar. I do not own any records. Comfy Synth. I don't know Comfy Synth, George. Is that like a genre? Can you send me some stuff after this live stream so I can check it out? How's the move going? It's going. As you can see, you can't see this whole room, which I can't wait to do the room tour and show you, but the room is coming together. It's a lot of space in here, which is great. Do I like reggae? I am not a huge reggae fan, I hate to say. Do I know the band Salt? S-A-U-L-T. Yes. What I know about them is that I discovered them in the past week, and I am really sad that I missed out on all of their records that are now all going for crazy money. Salt is really impressive. What is the bird thing behind me? It's Banjo-Kazooie. Oh, Mike again. Matt, I really appreciate the content. Thank you. I look forward to all your vids. Thank you. Thank you for taking Guster and Mute Math and May questions. Have I ever visited Wisconsin? I have visited Wisconsin a long time ago. My sister went to University of Wisconsin. I went when I was a kid, but not since then. All right, a couple more questions, and then I gotta call it, guys. I got some errands to run today. Let's see. Do I listen to Iron and Wine? Yeah, I love Iron and Wine. You know what, Ryan? You say Pink Floyd, and now you're making me second guess about not putting Roger Waters. I guess I would want Pink Floyd, but I'd want them to play Dark Side, Animals, Wish You Were Here exclusively. I guess if I'm making a dream festival, I could make them play whatever I want. George, shoot me an email or a DM on Instagram. My email is toomanyrecordsmusic@gmail.com. Krangbin fan. Yeah, I like Krangbin. Not as much as everyone else does, but I think that they're pretty great. Will this stream be available to watch later? Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. I'm going to call it. I was going to do 45 minutes. I already went 1 minute over. I'm going to drop... Oh, we got another super chat. You're keeping me here for another X time. Thoughts on the 2-copy Wu-Tang album? Seems really pretentious or also epic AF. Yeah, are you talking about like the Martin Shkreli album where only him and someone else got to hear it? Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty pretentious, but... I don't know. I feel like if the album was that good, they wouldn't do that with it. They would probably eventually, or they would have put it out. So I'm sure it's just a pretty good album that only has the manufactured scarcity because of that. But yeah. All right, I'm going to drop this one more time in the chat. Click that link. Guys, it's the next record on my label. It is fully funded, so every time you order a copy, you are guaranteed to get one. It doesn't have to make it all the way. Please go check it out, and I hope that you'll pre-order in the next 28 days. I'll answer Frank's as the last question. Listen to Fantasy Black Channel, Late of the Pier. I am not familiar with that, so you'll have to send me a link, because I would love to check it out. Thank you guys for watching the live stream. This was super fun. Enjoy the rest of your year, and I'll be back strong in 2021 with some good stuff. So thanks, guys.